Rosemary Holistic Nutrition, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about simple foods that you can add to your diet that will increase your gut health tremendously. A lot of these foods are very common foods that we usually consume. However, the way that they have been fermented are very different than the ones that you might be accustomed to. So today I'm going to be talking about the main stuff that I have incorporated in my diet that have really boosted my gut health and have improved my immune system as a result of that. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, which I've mentioned a few times in my other videos, is raw organic apple cider vinegar. This has really transformed my life. It really changed my gut health. I had really poor gut health due to overuse of antibiotics and eating too much sugar and having really not a really good diet. This was many years ago before I had children, and I didn't really have a lot of solid knowledge on good nutrition and the effects of certain foods on my health, because I wasn't really gaining weight from my lifestyle, so everybody assumed I was healthy, and that was not the case. You can't tell a person's health by looking at their weight. So apple cider vinegar is one of those things that really transformed my life. I take it once in the morning and once at night, 2 tablespoons with a tall glass of water. It has really changed my gut health, and it really helped with the sugar cravings that I was having. So this plays on different parts also. So it improves your gut health, and also it reduces sugar cravings. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is just pickles. People love pickles, you know, children, they love pickles and everything. You know, you can put them in your hamburgers, and you put them in as a garnish. So for me, it was very easy to transition my children from the unhealthy cucumber pickles to these fermented pickles. Now, when you, this one is my favorite kind. I use it, it's from Whole Foods. It doesn't, the ingredients you should look for are just cucumber and water and salt. And you should make sure that it doesn't have anything else. That's all that it's pickled with. So water, salt, and the cucumber. Many other brands out there, and I think that even this brand itself has other lines that have other ingredients. And one ingredient that I want you to stay away from is an ingredient called calcium chloride. Calcium chloride is extremely bad for your health, and it will wreak havoc in your body. It has a lot of negative side effects, so you should stay away from it. It's actually put in a lot of the pickles out there on the market, most of which are pickles that people use to feed their children. A lot of those have the calcium chloride. They have the added coloring, preservatives. Well, calcium chloride is a preservative that they use, but many other kinds also. So I would steer clear of that. And also, when buying the fermented cucumber pickles, please make sure that when you open the jar, you hear that little pop, and it should have a white residue on the top. That is completely normal. That just means that it actually has the good bacteria in it that is alive and well. The third thing that I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite things. I add it to salads. Well, pretty much I add it to anything that I want, but I love putting it in my salads. It's fermented sauerkraut. Now, sauerkraut, you could buy sauerkraut in many different forms. I've even seen some canned forms that I would steer clear from. That is a different kind of sauerkraut. That is not the good for you kind. This fermented sauerkraut is so good. It's so beneficial for your gut health. It has really also helped my gut health. It tastes delicious. It's wonderful. I also want you to make sure that when you look at the ingredients, and this is the one that I use, I simply love this brand. It just says cabbage, well water, and salt. So cabbage, water, and salt. Those should be the only 3 ingredients when you are picking out a fermented product. It should never have vinegar in it. A lot of people think that it should have vinegar. If it has vinegar in it, that is not the kind that's going to be it's not going to be the kind that has like the probiotics for your stomach. It's just a whole different thing, the other one. This is for gut health. So you need to just have 3 ingredients: the cabbage, water, the salt, the cucumber, water, and salt. Anything that you want pickled for it to have the good bacteria, gut health properties, it should just have the ingredient that you want to use, so the vegetable you want to use, with water and salt. That should only be the 3 ingredients. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, the next thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the kimchi. So kimchi is also a really good fermented product. This one that I buy, I really like because kimchi and miso are both extremely popular for gut health, and this product has both together. So for me, I really like to use it because I feel like I'm getting double the goodness in one jar. However, you can get the fermented miso by itself. Make sure that you only get the kind that is just miso. You don't want to have anything else added to it. This here is, it just has, trying to just see the ingredients for you. This one has green cabbage, it has carrots, it has daikon, scallions, unrefined sea salt, onions, and chickpea miso. So red pepper, garlic, ginger, and a bunch of other like brown rice flour, it says here, and some cane sugar. So you should just make sure that the ingredients that you are getting are all natural, that they are organic, and that they don't have any extra things added to it, just because the ones that have refined sugars, or it might have some extra additives and preservatives, those are the kinds you want to steer clear from. They're going to be detrimental to your health. They're not going to help you in any way. And so this is a good one. You can also buy kimchi by itself. I do that most of the time. This is just a new one that I've been using that has both. I've been trying it out. I actually like it, but I use kimchi by itself. I don't have one here right now, but I definitely use the kimchi by itself too, and the miso by itself. If you have any questions about the brands of the kimchi and miso, you could just ask me. You can leave a message down below and I will respond to you. And another thing that I really love to use, I use it in sandwiches, I use it sometimes a little bit in my salads, is horseradish. Horseradish is really good for your gut health. It has a very strong taste. So a lot of people are like, well, yeah, we know horseradish, but this kind of horseradish is very different. It just has a couple of ingredients. It is real horseradish, so it's very potent in taste and extremely good for your gut health. Not last because I still have this to talk about, but before the last thing I'm going to talk about is, and I'm sure you all have heard of and tried, is kombucha. Kombucha is a really easy and fast way to get good bacteria and improve your gut health. It tastes delicious. Try to make sure you get a kind that's organic and raw. That's the most important. It has to be raw. And also make sure that at the back it doesn't have many ingredients. A lot of them can have unnecessary sugar added, a lot of different refined things. So just make sure that it has simple ingredients. This one just has a couple of ingredients in it, which I love. Make sure you don't shake it, just swirl it a little bit because you don't want to kill the bacteria in there. And lastly, I'm going to talk about bone broth. This is not a brand, I make it myself. So if you have any questions about how to make it, you can leave a question below and I will answer. It's just very simple. You can make it very easily at home. Just make sure that you use the best kind of bones you can get. So what I like to do is I like to use the bones of the meat that I already buy, and I do tend to get the best kind of meat, and that is you want it to be grass-fed, pasture-raised. You want it to be organic if you can. Also, make sure that it doesn't have any antibiotics added or hormones were given to the animal, and because that would be against the point. If it was giving any antibiotics or hormones or any of those type of things, then you will be consuming that as a result. And especially when you're boiling, well, eating the meat is a no-no. If you can avoid that, try to as much as you can. I mean, I do eat out, so when you eat out, you really take away all the control that you have over your food. So as long as you're not eating out that much, I tend to go out maybe once a week. I take out the kids, and my husband and I like to, dine out. So doing it once a week is fine, but there are some families out there that are eating out every day. They take takeout, and they're not really focusing a lot on the type of meat they're eating. So that's really important. So with the bone broth, you just need to make sure that you get the best kind of bone, and it's delicious. You can make it at home. You could also make it in batches and keep it in the fridge and use it as needed. So these are the things that I use on a daily basis. I know it might seem like a lot to most people, but I do start the day off with the raw organic apple cider vinegar, and then I'll have my breakfast, and then I will have my salad in a couple of hours later, and I do add the sauerkraut to my salad, and I have not every day, maybe every other day or once every 2 days, I'll have my kombucha. I mostly just drink water. So I'll have, my coffee in the morning that I add a lot of different things to. I have another post about that to really boost the coffee. And then I'll have water for the rest of the day. I don't really have many different kinds of drinks. So also with this, I do put this on, so I'll make like a avocado toast using sprouted bread, and I'll put this on top of it, and that would be for my snack after I have my salad, a couple of hours before I have my dinner. And then the pickles I use a lot for my children, especially. They really love pickles, and they really love the fermented kind, and they don't know the difference. So I really would urge everybody to really try to switch out little things, especially when it comes to children. I'm gonna do a post about that later on. But yeah, so as far as gut health and my daily intake, and obviously I use the bone broth for a lot of the cooking that I do for dinner. Sometimes I'll even use it I'll use the bone broth for even cooking rice. So it's really multifaceted, especially because the bone broth, when you make it yourself, you add a whole bunch of, different spices and different leaves, different herbs. So it really does become a very potent additive within itself. So, it's perfect. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have anything specific that you want me to talk about, please leave that in the comments below. And if you have any questions about how to make these things yourself, because a lot of the times I will make the fermented pickles cucumber pickles and the fermented sauerkraut at home. It's a very easy method, and you can buy one of those fermentation bottles that are specifically used for that. If you're interested, I can leave a link, my link on Amazon for it. That's where I got mine from, and I'd be happy to share it with you. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.